the Staff Selection Commission has announced the CGL, the combined graduate level examination. The preliminaries are going to be held from May 2021 to June 2021. The tier 2 examinations are, the dates are yet to be announced. So it is a great chance. Make sure that you all prepare for CGL also. Nearly 70% of the topics are overlapped ones. So whatever you learn for bank test will be of great help to the CGL also. We would like to announce that we have got a CGL platform, online platform, and for those who participate in our regular classroom program, bank test application as well as CGS applications are free. So it is a great chance, big number of vacancies, so work really hard. Do not think that exams are 5 months to 6 months away, but feel the paucity of time, work genuinely hard so that success can be ensured. Prepare for the tier 2 straight away, tier 1 and tier 2, there is no separate preparation for tier 1, prepare straight away for tier 2, make tier 1 a cakewalk. So the date of application applying, it starts from today 29th of December, and if my memory is anything to go by, you can apply till January 31. So work really hard. You have got, if you got to have a focus now, you have got an exam in sight, so that is it. Make sure that you all prepare well. So let us begin with our daily news analysis. We shall start with the Hindu dated December 28. Farmers protest during airing of Prime Minister Modi's Mann Ki Baat. We know that Mann Ki Baat is a monthly program by Prime Minister speaking to the people of India through the radio. Mann Ki Baat is a very popular program through which Prime Minister speaks out his heart and he speaks to his people. So during that time, this time the farmers who are protesting in Delhi, they clanging their ports, they demonstrated their protest against the government. Coronavirus is happy news. Coronavirus is the incidence of virus is coming down, and that is a heartening news. So we shall take one by one. A 55-year-old advocate from Punjab died. Farmers allege that it was a suicide and a suicide note could be retrieved. He was protesting against the authoritarian style of functioning of the central government, but the police say that no such suicide note was recovered from his body. Anyway, protests are going on. Fortunately, the farmers community, the leaders have accepted the invitation of the government to participate in a meeting. Hopefully something very positive will turn out. Farmers say that they are disappointed with regard to the fact that the government has not acknowledged their demand. Rather, the government letter inviting the farmers has been highly obfuscating. Obfuscate means the verbal jugglery of words, and by confusing, that is called obfuscation. You use a lot of ornamental words to camouflage, to conceal the real intent, that is what is called obfuscation. So generally the letter was a kind of an obfuscating one which was not acceptable to them, but still they are positive to meet the government. That is what the farmers unions say. So let us see what is going to happen. The nation is looking forward to the result of the prospective meeting between the farmers and the government. Daily virus cases below 19,000 after 6 months. Of course, this is a great news. Virus is subsiding, the incidence of infections is subsiding, that is a hearty news. But on the other side, it is said that test cases, serious case of testing are taking place only in states of Kerala, states like Kerala, where the numbers are very high. The test positive rate in Kerala is around 10% now. In other states, the life has almost normalized. People are not wearing masks, they are not keeping social distancing. But in Kerala, of course, people are very much concerned, and social distancing is kept to a great extent. Of course, it is not as much as we did during the initial phases of lockdown. Life has to get normalized. Life has to get normalized. There is no other way out. And of course, the hopes on the new vaccines, that is also very high. With the vaccination program starts in hopefully again the virus will subside and life will get really normalized. Of course, these are certain good news that we could hear from the year 2020. 2020 was a year, an unprecedented year, having no precedents in the last 1 century. Of course, it was it really paralyzed economies, paralyzed normal lives. People have lost their jobs, people are struggling to survive, businesses are struggling to just float. Anybody who survives 2020 would be really lucky ones. Essential dry run, this is again the about the coronavirus. We know that the country is going for a mammoth vaccination program, one of the biggest vaccination programs the world has ever seen. That is going to take place in the world, especially in India. We have got real experience in conducting vaccination programs of big scales. India has been conducting vaccination programs every year. For 4 infections, vaccinations are taken. So, we have got real experience, but the problem here is that almost a good number of population, percentage of population have to be vaccinated, and that has to be done in a short span of time. So, that is the major challenge. So, major questions would be how do we and of course, this vaccine has to be given in 2 doses. So, how do we manage it is something that everybody is looking at. We have got CoWIN, a portal, a digital portal to register for vaccination, and that portal will give us proper advice. Government says that it has got the experience, it has done the homework, but when only it is being implemented that we will find the real heat. So, we have to see how the vaccination program goes well. Hindu is also is cautious about the vaccination program. So, CoWIN platform for management of entire vaccination process, including data entry, allocation of date and time, and a drill of session sites with test beneficiaries. That is what is the so called dry run. So, we are going to go for a kind of a mock drill how it is done, but we have to be very confident, because as regards vaccination is concerned, India's experience is something incomparable. We have the real genuine experience of vaccinating huge population, and that has been very successfully done in the past many decades. We have effectively kept away diseases like polio, etc., etc. So, we have got the experience, and how are we going to use this experience to vaccinate a huge population in a short span of time of say 1 to 3 years is what the world is looking at, is what we all are keenly looking at. Notes from a year of unease, written by Mr. M.K. Narayanan, former National Security Advisor and the Governor of West Bengal. It is a beautiful article, a simply written article. It speaks about the challenges ahead in the year 2021. It has got different facets. It speaks about the security issues, it speaks about employment, it speaks about the economy. A beautifully written, a simply written article. Read it completely. It says the Chinese challenge that we had, which had gone up to a great nuisance level for a peace loving country that like India. So that is being said. It says that there are plenty of positives, that the country has got a very strong leader, that is a very important thing, and the party in power has got a real majority. And another thing that he cites is that there is only a namesake opposition. So those are all positive things that he says, that the government can implement what it decides. So that is a positive. But when it comes to repair the economy that has been going on through a very bad phase, the so called jugglery of words won't suffice. Rather, we got to seriously take note of what is happening to the country. So it may need a total makeover of decision making process and giving up of many entrenched ideas and concepts. New thinking is a sine qua non if India is to bounce back from the situation that was catastrophic by any standard, says M.K. Narayanan. We should not indulge in just simple rhetorics, rather proper actions are needed, says the writer. So he says that it might be best if authorities begin by ticking off a list of problems left over from 2020 and consider how best to achieve results. That is what the article says. The state of the economy should be the next. Mere claims that the economy has rebounded hardly suffice. That is very true. The government simply keeps on saying that the economy has bounced back or is bouncing back, but those sort of rhetorics have to stop, and we have to make sure that the economy is properly repaired and people at the bottom of the pyramid are properly helped, and businesses are given relief to problems which are not made by them, rather it was created by the calamitous coronavirus. So they have to be helped because they are the real generator of employment in the country. They are the people who move the nation and not just the government. The state of economy should be next. Mere claims that the economy has rebounded hardly suffice. India must seek in all honesty to enhance its competitive advantage vis-a-vis other nations which according to various global indices appear to be performing better than India. So the article says that other economies, comparable economies, are performing better than India. So India cannot live with mere claims of rebounding, rather actions have to be properly taken. So India should look inward rather than outwards to enlarge its economy, need to be rejected, and India should enhance its export capacity. India's real strength flows from its diversity. In 2021 we need to see India's genius blooming in full measure. Side by side with this, all attempts to tamper with technological or academic excellence as prompted in some quarters during 2020 need to be avoided. Listen, the figures should not be fabricated, the figures should not be misinterpreted to make it appear that things are good in India. That won't suffice, rather we have to do the real homework to get the real rebound. That is what the article says. Then it keeps on speaking about the other pressing challenges of employment creation, etc., etc. So please read, it is a very good readable article, keep on reading. A costly deal from Sudan. We discussed briefly about Sudan. I think it was in connection with a few countries accepting diplomatic relations with Israel that we spoke about Sudan also. 3 countries, UAE and 2 more, I forgot the name. In fact, we discussed, can anybody help me out? The countries that restarted, the Arab nations that started diplomatic relations with Israel. Hello, please give me some response. Which are the countries? I know one country is UAE. What are the other 2 countries? We discussed that 2 days ago. Yes, I am awaiting responses from you. Which are the countries that started diplomatic relations with Israel recently? I am checking for your comments, nothing is coming out. Please. Hello. Which are the countries that started? Bahrain and Morocco. UAE, Bahrain, Morocco, correct, very good, very good. Thanks for the supplements. I in fact that had gone out of my mind. Good. So Bahrain and Morocco, Bahrain, Morocco and UAE are the countries from the Arab world that started diplomatic relations with Israel, and Sudan has said that it would also. This in this article, listen, the reason US moved to remove Sudan's designation, which had been in place since 1993 as a state that sponsors terrorism. Of course, in the bargain, Sudan was forced to give accept Israel or start diplomatic relations with Israel. So in the bargain, US has said that it will remove Sudan from the list of countries that sponsor terrorism. So this article speaks about that. There is pressure on Sudan to accept Israel, and in the bargain Sudan will be given the benefit of getting removed from the as a country that would sponsor terrorism. So internally Sudan is not prepared, but it is through external force of US that Sudan is succumbing. That is what the article speaks about. So please read. Make a resolution to use local products, Prime Minister. Yes, Prime Minister says that local products must be used so that demand can be created within the economy, so that we can control export of dollars from us. You know, when we import things, we are actually through the other side exporting dollars. Dollars are going from our exchequer. So once we decide to use more and more products that are used within India, we can retain the flight of dollars from the country. But if that is to happen, we got to be proud of the so called made in India products. Why people go for foreign products? Maybe because of the quality, but things have changed. Now Indian manufacturers produce excellent quality products. So it is a good food for thought that everybody and all have to think about using Indian products. But this may not sound good for a country that is trying to integrate its economy with that of the world, because it would be seen as a kind of a protectionism. Protectionism has no space in modern economy, in a highly integrated economy. The concept of free trade and protectionism are anathema to each other. Anyway, please read this article, indigenous goods in 2021 for sake of the country. That must be the New Year resolution that we have to take, and that is what our Prime Minister has asked us from, is asking us from. A dip in cotton purchase, says the recently resigned leader who resigned from the NDA cabinet. Former Union Minister and Shiromani Akali Dal leader Harsimrat Kaur Badal has said that there is everything to believe, everything to suspect the governmental move there is everything to believe that farmers' doubts are believable. He says that the Cotton Corporation of India, that is procuring cotton from farmers, they have already effecting reduction in purchase. What is the suspicion of farmers? Farmers believe that the recent government moves the repealing of the enactment of 3 farmers bill, they are done to eventually take out government procurement of farm goods. They suspect that finally FCI will become a non-entity. They suspect that APMCs will become a thing of the past. They suspect that Essential Commodities Act, since it is repealed, since it is taken out, it will allow big corporations to come into play, and they will start ruling, they will start dictating terms to farmers what to be produced. It shall reach even that level, and they believe that the minimum support price will finally get vanished. Former minister says that there are already signals, signs that government procurement will get weakened, and she cites that the Cotton Corporation of India that places daily ceilings on procurement, they are placing daily ceilings on procurement, meaning they would say that we will purchase only this many bales of cotton on any given day, meaning what all farmers produce will not be purchased, rather there will be ceiling. So the same thing may get replicated in the case of paddy, in the case of wheat. So what she suspects is that this is another way of killing government procurement, this is another way of supporting corporates. Anyway, please read, let us have ideas and let us discuss. The first question, Sunil Kothari, who passed away recently, was associated with sports, dance, motion pictures, politics or journalism. This is the first question of the day, please answer. The time is up, let the responses come. Very important personality, Padma Shri awardee. He comes from Gujarat, and yes, he is connected with the dance. So a famous dancer, a famous writer on dance forms in India. So Padma Shri awardee, Sangeet Natak Academy awardee, and he hails from Gujarat. Good, the answer is correct. I am moving on to the, yes, this is eminent dance scholar Sunil Kothari, died at 87. Please take a brief note of him, it is going to come very important from your examination point of view also. The following question is based on ICC teams of decade. Who among the following was voted captain of ICC's international test team? International test team, ICC's team of the decade award. Yes, let the answers come. Is it Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Virat Kohli, Ben Stokes, AB de Villiers or Kumar Sangakkara? Yes, let me get responses quickly. Option number 2, Virat Kohli is correct. R. Ashwin, the spinner, is the only other Indian to be a member of the test squad. Ashwin is the only other Indian to form in the test squad. Okay, good, answer is Virat Kohli. Third one, the following question is based again on Indian ICC teams of decade. Who among the following is the only Indian to figure in the teams of all formats? There is only one Indian who is a member of all the formats, meaning the test, the one day international and T20. Is it Rohit Sharma, Dhoni, Virat Kohli, Ashwin or Jasprit Bumrah? The only Indian to be a part of all the 3 formats of the game in the ICC's team. Yes, very correct, the answer is Virat Kohli, Indian captain. Excellent answer, correct, good. So I am proceeding. The fourth one, the following question is again based on ICC team of the decade. Pick out the incorrect statement, mind you, pick out the incorrect statement. Dhoni is named the captain of the ODI team. Among women, India's Harmanpreet Kaur and Poonam Yadav made it into the T20 team. Among women, Mithali Raj and Julian Goswami were picked for the ODI team. Rohit Sharma is named the captain of the T20 team. So, which is incorrect? Is it that everything is correct? A only, B only, C only, D only, or none of these? If you think everything is correct, you have to mark number 5 option. Yes, a few more responses are expected. Correct? The answer is D. D is wrong. It is not Rohit Sharma, rather it is our MS Dhoni. MS Dhoni is the captain of the T20 team. So, MS Dhoni will captain both ODI and the T20 team. He is the captain of both T20 as well as ODI team, while India's Virat Kohli is the captain of the test team, international test team. It's chosen by the ICC. Yes, this speaks about everything. Please read and prepare your notes. I have covered almost everything through the previous questions, but better read and make your own notes. 5th question, why Ant group of China in the news recently? Why was there is a missing in the news recently? Why was Ant group of China in the news recently? Why was it in the news recently? It planned a 37 billion initial public offerings IPO, which was the world's largest, but was later suspended by the authorities. Is that the reason? The Ant group is the holding company of a bio research group in Wuhan, wherefrom the coronavirus was suspected to break out. They are constructing the biggest hydroelectric generation dam in the upper reach of Brahmaputra river, which causes concerns to India. They are elected to implement the One Belt One Road initiative of China. None of these. Why are they in the news recently? That is a question. Why are the Ant group of China in the news recently? Okay, I am getting responses. Yes, most of you got it correct. The answer is this. The Ant group planned 37 billion IPO, which was the world's largest, but the company could not pursue that. Why? Because it was stopped by the authorities. Government of China seems to have locked horns with Jack Ma, or suspected to have locking horns with Jack Ma. So, we have to wait and see what is going to be in store from China. The law in focus, the Roshni Act is associated with. So, what is Roshni Act associated with? That is a question. Yes, the time is up. Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, and none of these. Roshni Act. Fifth option, first option, okay. Is it associated with Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, or none of these? Athira and Pratisha say it is 5. Anu Lakshmi, Ben John, Manju all say 5. The answer is correct. It is a fifth option. It is associated with Jammu and Kashmir. It is associated with Jammu and Kashmir. Enacted in 2001. The year Roshni Act was enacted in 2001 by the Farooq Abdullah government in J&K. it sought to regularize unauthorized land holding, all land holding up to 1992 or 93, 92 or 93, 1992 or 93, I do not remember, all land holding, unauthorized land holding up to 92, 93 would be regularized as per the Act, Roshni Act in 2001. This particular act was in focus recently because government has started snatching lands that farmers have been keeping with them with the repeal of Roshni Act. So, please read, Roshni Act is associated with Jammu and Kashmir. The next question, the inner line permit ILP is an official document issued to let an Indian citizen enter a protected area for a limited period. ILP is needed in the following Indian states except Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Meghalaya and Nagaland. Most of you answer the first option. The answer is not the first one, it is Meghalaya. The fourth option, Meghalaya, is the correct answer. The ILP, the inner line permit, the law was implemented in the British era. This was a law that was implemented in the British era. Pressure groups in the northeast view this permit as a shield against entry of illegal immigrants. Meghalaya has been demanding the implementation of ILP. Meghalaya has not implemented, rather Meghalaya has been demanding the implementation of ILP. It is already in place in Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram and Nagaland. In all these four states, ILP is already implemented. It is in place, the law is in place. As I told you earlier, it is a British era law that would protect, that will is only with this ILP, the permit, that an Indian citizen can enter the protected areas in these four states. So, ILP has been saying the pressure groups in northeast view this permit as a shield against entry of illegal immigrants. So, they are mostly ethnic groups more concerned about their ethnicity being affected with the arrival of illegal immigrants. So, Meghalaya is also demanding for ILP in the state. Thank you very much for watching the program. I expect all of you would go through the notes, the questions again. It will be available in our daily Gyan, the questions will be available in the daily Gyan. Do make sure that you do all the questions that come up in the daily Gyan. Daily Gyan is available, daily Gyan in the Udyog Seva app of ours, that is available for all students, not even those who have not purchased the course can view, is a free material. So, make sure that you all go through daily Gyan. Again I shall remind you that CGL is announced, that is a good news to offer you. So, CGL is announced, a good number of vacancies are available in the government. So, pull up your socks, work hard, that is the message. We shall again meet at 3 o'clock. Another faculty member will come and take classes on either English, math or reasoning. We shall meet again with the same program tomorrow at 12:30. Till then, bye bye.